Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Autobot JCB here, coming to you with a brand new how to transform video. Before we get going, I want to apologize for the delay on this video. I know a few people have been wanting me to do these characters for a little while. I know it's been about a month since I did my Omnicon video for Transformers Energon, but I decided to take some time off just to kind of focus on me. But I am back, I am better than ever, and I am ready to go. Now, before we get going on this, I want to give a quick shout out to YouTubers Rai Ryusuke, and I apologize if I said that wrong. But in addition to Rai, I also want to give a quick shout out to YouTuber Jonathan Harris for suggesting these characters. As you can see here, we have 4 characters that we're going to do today, and these are the 2004 Transformers Energon Terrorcons. Now, these characters are the Decepticon counterparts to the Autobots Omnicon characters. If you want to go check out that video, it is in my playlist. But anyway, so these characters, like I said, are from Transformers Energon, and these characters are Ravage, Cruelock, Divebomb, and Insecticon. Just like with the Omnicons, these characters have the ability to mine and harvest Energon. And just like with the Omnicons and RC, they can also handle raw Energon, and then they can create Energon stars, which you can see right here, here, and here, which can then be transferred onto the Decepticon characters. Now, I think that these Energon stars can only be given to the Decepticons. It's been a while since I've watched Transformers Energon, so I should probably brush up on that. But I do believe that these Energon stars are actually impure Energon compared to the ones that the Autobots use. But anyway, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start with Ravage, and then I will move down the line. So for right now, we're going to move Insecticon, Divebomb, and Cruelock off to the side, and we're going to bring in Ravage for his close-up. As you can see here, Ravage turns into a pretty neat Cybertronian tiger. And now you guys will recognize the name Ravage as one of the minions of the character Soundwave. I think they did a pretty good job keeping true to the tiger design for Ravage. Excuse me for 1 second. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I do think it's pretty neat that they kind of gave him a more modernized look. But honestly, with the way his head sculpt is, it kind of makes me think of Voltron. I don't know why, and please, I really hope I'm not the only one who sees that. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into transforming this one, and then we'll move on down the line. So as you can see here, he's got a blaster mounted on his right shoulder and another blaster mounted on his left shoulder, as well as his Energon star. What we'll go ahead and do first is we'll go ahead and take the blaster off of him, just like that. And we'll take this blaster off. Now, with the Energon star, because it has this little lip right here, it can be tricky to get off of there. So typically, if I want to take it off, I'll actually have him transformed before I do that. But anyway, so we'll start with the lower section of the body, and then we'll move on to the upper section. So what we'll do first is we'll go ahead and bring the legs down just like this. And then we'll give the waist a 180-degree turn, just like that. And then we'll just turn the tail around. Actually, no, I had that right. Sorry. We'll flip the tail up behind him just like that, because this right here is actually going to be his chest. And then this next part is actually really simple. All you do is you just take the head, you push down, and that will actually make this whole section of his body come down. If you have to, move these legs forward first, because these are going to become his arms. But then go ahead and make sure that's straight. Sorry. Bring that down just like that. And that will reveal the shoulders for the Ravage ult mode. Go ahead and flip the claws for his beast mode back just like that, which will open up the compartment and show his fists. Go ahead and do that. And then this little purple panel right here, just go ahead and flip this forward, click it into place, and then give his head a 180-degree turn, just like that. As you can see here, he looks pretty beasty even in his alt mode. I think they did a really good job. I know it's kind of kind of metallic colored, but if you look very carefully, he does actually have some fangs and some sharp teeth, which I think is a pretty neat attention to detail given his beast mode. So there we have Ravage transformed. One thing I want to show you with his blaster is if you look right here, the trigger for the blaster is right here, but if you actually take this piece and you hook it right onto here, actually you can either hook it onto this peg or this peg. I really don't think it matters, honestly, but I usually hook it onto this one. So if you do that, it actually turns it into what appears to be some type of sniper rifle. Kind of a neat little feature. So you got the end of the scope that you look through right there. And yep, I would not want to look down the barrel of that weapon. We'll go ahead and put that in his hand right there. And there we have Ravage. So there's Terrorcon number 1. We'll go ahead and set him off to the side. And now we're actually going to bring in Divebomb. Now, the reason I'm doing Ravage and Divebomb first is because these are actually the first 2 Terrorcons that were actually introduced in the show. So as you can see, Divebomb turned into a pretty neat looking falcon. I think his color scheme honestly kind of makes me think of the Falcon Zord from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I suppose they could have taken inspiration from that. If I'm wrong, oh well. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove these green pieces off the side of him right here, because we're going to be using those later. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip the wings shut just like this, and then flip the end of the wing back just like that, because that is actually going to become one of his legs. So we'll flip this back, close that up, flip that down, and then we'll bring these forward just like this. And then what we'll do is if you take the head of Divebomb and you split it apart, it will actually split into the arms of Divebomb. And we'll just go ahead and bring it off to the side and bring it up just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip. There's a hinge right here for this part of the body. Let's go ahead and flip that back and line that hole up with that pin and then put it together just like that. So far, he kind of looks a little discombobulated, just like that. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and bring down this part of Divebomb's head, and we'll give it a quarter turn out. Go ahead and bring this one down, give it a quarter turn out. There we have Divebomb's arms. Then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and flip these down just like this. And then we'll go ahead and spin his head around just like that. And there we have Divebomb. Honestly, I think Divebomb is one of the better designed Terrorcons because I think he's the most stable. As for the weapons, as you can see here, these can actually be used as either Energon axes, because you can actually mount the ends in each hand, or if you take them, you'll notice that they have pegs and little pinholes right there. If you actually put them together, it turns into his boomerang that can then be thrown as seen in the show. So we'll go ahead and we'll give him his boomerang. That way we don't make him mad. So there we have Divebomb. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and move Divebomb off to the side. And now I will show you Cruelock. Now, Cruelock, in my opinion, is a more weirder design. Probably because of all the double hinges in his waist and around that part of him. To be honest with you, I think his design, I think it looks more like the baby Godzillas from the 1999 Godzilla movie than anything else. If I'm not the only one who thinks that, feel free to let me know in the comments. I do think it is kind of cool how they, the head sculpt, it does look like they copied that design. I honestly think that this head sculpt with a more metallic look to it, like in the show, I think it looks kind of neat. But one thing I've always thought was weird about these things is when they're first introduced, they hop around. They don't run like you would think a dinosaur would. I honestly think that's one of the weirdest introductions for this type of Terrorcon there is. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into transforming him. And the first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna just move his arms up out of the way, just so we don't have to worry about him. And then what we'll do is if you come down here and if you push his waist together. Oh, hold on. I apologize. I forgot to split the tail. Make sure you split the tail apart first and take out the sword and take out the little blaster that's mounted in here as well. This can be a little snug in here, so if you got to wiggle it out, go ahead. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and just kind of flip that out just like that. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and push in on his waist, which this is one's a little older, so it's not the most functional at this point. But we'll go ahead. There we go. Push his waist together just like that. It's not going to be that hard for everybody's figure. Mine's just pretty old. So then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and fold the tail out flat against his back just like that. And then what we'll do is if you push... What am I doing wrong here? Oh, there we go. Push the shoulders in. It helps push the head back up out of the way the rest of the way. And then the gears in here will actually make it go up about halfway just to get his alt mode head out of the neck of the dinosaur. Then what we do is just flip his head around, and there's Cruelock. I apologize for how sloppy that was. This is a figure that doesn't really get transformed a lot. But anyway, so there we have Cruelock in his alt mode. Whoops, sorry, Divebomb. Now for his weapons, he obviously has this big giant Energon sword that comes out of the end of his tail. Now you can either mount it in his hand just like this, or if you want to make sure that the grip of the sword can actually clear the transparent claw that he has right there, you can actually take his blaster and attach it to give him more of an extended handle just like that. Or what you can do is you can flip this off to the side just like that, and it'll kind of sit a little cockeyed in his hand, but it works either way. And then this piece can be mounted in his hand for a little sidearm. Personally, I like to keep it as the sword configuration because it's a little bit easier for my displays. So there we have Cruelock transformed and ready to go. So there's Terrorcon number 3. And then finally, we have the Insecticon. Now, I've always kind of hated the fact that this thing is specifically called Insecticon. I have the version of the Insecticon from the ROTF movies. I think it was actually from the Hunt for the Decepticons toy line. I like that design a lot better, but I got I got this one plus the Hunt for the Decepticons version after Transformers Prime came out. So I've honestly just taken to calling these guys Hardshell because one of the toughest Insecticons in Transformers Prime is named Hardshell. So as you can see here, Insecticon / Hardshell, whatever you want to call him, his design, I think, is actually modeled after either the Hercules beetle or the rhinoceros beetle. I don't know entirely for sure. If you guys do, feel free to let me know in the comments. I honestly think that the actual beetle itself is about this size. So the fact that they made this design like this is actually pretty neat. He's got his Energon star right there on his back, and then this right here is actually a drill. Can actually be used as a drill, so he can mine for raw Energon. And then if you take it off, it actually turns into a little sword. And then he has like a little Gatling gun that can be used. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and remove. I forgot you have to take the Energon star off first. Sorry about that. We'll remove the sword and the Energon star, and then we'll go ahead and remove the Gatling gun. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and push these legs together and these legs together. Go ahead and bring them down just like this until they kind of click into place. And then what we'll do is we'll fold these pieces down just like this. go ahead and grab either side of the shell on the back of it, on his back, flip it up and click it into place on the side. You can see right here, this is a very old figure, so the joint is very loose. This thing had virtually no give when I first got it. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and flip up the other one just like that. And then what we'll do is we'll turn this whole section 180 degrees. So that way he looks like this. And then what we'll do, go ahead and bring this piece down, give it a quarter turn, which will reveal the spot on his fist. So we'll go ahead, bring this down, quarter turn. And there we have Hardshell ready to go. Now, I don't remember exactly if this is supposed to be a feature or not, but I've always thought that these kind of look like shoulder-mounted cannons. So if you want, I suppose you could put them up over his shoulder, similar to the Predator's plasma caster. I think it's kind of neat that he would get two, especially with as weird as this guy looks. So anyway, so there we have the Insecticon. And then, like I said, you can take the one piece of the drill of his horn and put it in his hand. Now he has like a Gatling gun. We'll go ahead and give him back his Energon star. And then the other piece you can put in his other hand, kind of like a sword. Or if you want, he can actually have a hand-mounted drill. Honestly, I think it looks kind of goofy having a drill like that. So I just kind of have him sitting off just like that. But anyway, so there we have all four of the 2004 Transformers Energon Terrorcons. Once again, I want to give a shout out to YouTubers Jonathan Harris and Rai Ryusuke. And like I said it before, I apologize if I mispronounced that. Once again, guys, thank you for suggesting this video. I have been looking forward to doing it for a while. And one more time, I do apologize for the delay on this. I just wanted to take some time off. But if you guys have any other ideas for other Transformers you'd like me to do, feel free to comment below, even hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell. I'm going to be trying to go into, for lack of a better word, overdrive, getting some more videos out so I can keep you guys up to date and keep you guys entertained. Until then, bye.